Oh, hi! Today I'm gonna do a little something to be a little more environmentally friendly with Earth Day on the horizon. And actually, to give credit where credit is due, a creator friend of mine, Ellis, hi if you're watching, did a Q&A on her Instagram stories asking her followers what they do to be a little more environmentally friendly, and a bunch of people answered that they use reusable face wipes, and it had never fucking occurred to me to do that. I use 2 cotton pads every day and they are just single use, and that adds up. That's so many pieces that I could have not been adding to a landfill somewhere. So I'm gonna make myself a batch and then also some to sell out in the world, because I think had I seen this in a shop somewhere, I would have thought of this a lot sooner. So honestly, even if people don't buy it from me but just see it and are like, oh yes, I can make that, because it's gonna be a super easy project, I promise. I would have thought of it that much sooner and saved that much trash, you know? As with everything you make yourself, there's plenty of customization options with this. I really want like a more abrasive scrubby side and a nice soft luxurious side. I'm using some cotton flannel, nothing fancy. Natural fibers seem like a good move here, and that'll be the nice soft side. These have obviously all been washed, but these are old scraps, because that is something I really try to make a point to not add to trash piles of the world. I save every little scrap I have and really use up as much as humanly possible, even if it just ends up turning into like stuffing for a plush or whatever. This is from a shirt I made probably 8 years ago. This is from something even older, at least like 12 years old. The bottom of a dress I made. I put like a little skirty bit on the bottom of a Misfits t-shirt. I hold on to things for a very long time. Does that mean I'm kind of a hoarder? Yes. Can that also mean I'm trying in my own little way to help the environment? Also, yes. The two are not mutually exclusive, and it helps me justify holding on to everything. If only you saw what my craft room looks like behind the camera. You get to see the nice side, and even this is pretty cluttered. So yeah, I have a scrubby side and a soft side. This is just a real cheap terry cloth washcloth. I like the cheaper ones because I like the more abrasive whatever. Even with towels getting out of the shower, I hate the like real big plushy ones. I don't feel as clean. I don't know. I just don't want something that soft touching me after I get out of the shower. It may be weird, but that's just me. So that'll be for my like toner and face wash side. But yeah, to apply my moisturizer and stuff, I want like a nice soft flannel. Make sure whatever fabrics you're using are already washable. Like I certainly wash these, and I certainly wash flannel clothing. I saw a lot of people talk about using a lingerie bag. I don't even separate my whites and my color clothes when I do laundry. I need all of it to go in one load without any extra steps. Very lazy about my laundry, but I just make a point to buy things that will definitely hold up. I'm gonna use my serger for these. If you don't have one, probably like a zigzag stitch will hold up better than a straight stitch, but maybe both. Maybe do a round of straight stitches and then on the seam allowance of that do a round of zigzag stitching. However you want it to look, you can have fun with this. You can even embroider in the center. Let's get into the thing. I have a little embroidery hoop as my pattern piece. Use a cotton round for the pattern. Use bottom of a cup, whatever circle you want. And you can do any shape you want. Like you want square ones, go for it. I'm not going to judge you on your face wipe shape choices. The edges on these washcloths, because they're pretty cheap, are kind of wonky, so stacking a few is going to be pretty much impossible to line up. I'm not in a rush right now, so I am just going to do one layer at a time. I'm just going to trace around my little hoop buddy. Of course, because the terry cloth is stretchy, it's flopping all over. But just get it close. Yeah, not perfect, but it'll do the trick. I'm just going to trace as many of these on the washcloth as I can. Alright, I've got 12 bits traced out. That should be fine. And then, since this is a sleeve, I'm going to cut along the seam allowance just to lay everything flat. I've got this whole big space. And yeah, same thing. Just going to trace around as best I can. Maybe I should grab a marker for this. Onto the secondary fabric. If you're using marker, just make sure it's something washable. Or just make sure you cut off that part of the seam allowance. I've got all my circles traced on both things. I'm going to cut everything out.
Then we've also got this colouring page. Ooh, now we've got this lilac sketchbook.
I've probably mentioned this 10 times by now, but Cheryl, you are the best. And I am using this guy specifically for my fabric scraps, and thread too, which can go into stuffing things. And okay, I have my rounds. I'm gonna set up my serger, whatever sewing technique you got. If you want to do like a blanket stitch, like hand stitch it and put a fun embroidery floss color on it or something. Oh, there's so much stuff between me and the serger that I packed away. Oh, help me. Okay, I dug it out of the abyss. I have it in a nice little like carrier case. It's like a rolling suitcase almost, but for sewing machines. So it's stored properly, but it's just, there's a mess between me and the bag it stays in. Because this is like precious desk space that I don't always need if I'm painting or doing something that doesn't require serging. You get it. Moving on. I'm just gonna go around the edges once. I was thinking initially that I would stitch around and then flip it out and top stitch the whole close, but I've been really into the serging showing on things. I really like how serging stitches look. Like the bandanas I have listed on my Etsy shop. That is an aesthetic choice. I intentionally have it with the white threads showing. I really like how it looks. Yeah, but obviously do it however you want. And yes, these aren't lining up perfectly, but it's okay. Using a serger, it cuts the edge as you sew if you have your blade engaged. So it'll even all of this out as I go around it. I am not mad at that. I'm going to do the rest of the batch. You can obviously pin these too if you want to keep everything a little more lined up. It's perfect. Eee, look at them all. Ooh, I got some threads to clip. Oh my goodness. Now that these are together, and see what I mean about the stitching? I really like how that looks. I'm so pumped. These look like, I don't know, things that should be in the stores. Yeah, I'm really pleased with how this came out. And this is the whole stack of a dozen. This isn't gonna take up like any space. I gotta come up with a cute little storage solution for these now though. I may make some more and put them up in my Etsy shop. I'll link to my Etsy down in my description if you have never checked it out before. Even if you just give it a favorite, that helps me a lot. And please, if you have any thoughts on things I should have there or any general suggestions, I'm still pretty new to trying to do this as like a stream of income, so any suggestions would be very much appreciated. Ooh, and I'm doing a couple in-person events, so maybe I'll have them there. On May 4th, Saturday, in Derry, New Hampshire, they're doing a downtown Derry Derby Day. There's a fishing derby that happens, but it's also the day of the Kentucky Derby, so I think I'm gonna make a bunch of like little tiny fascinator hats, like little tiny over-the-top hats, because that seems to be a thing with the Kentucky Derby for some reason. And who doesn't love tiny things? I'm gonna make some of those and also just have my usual setup going on. I'm gonna make some bags for it. Maybe I'll have stuff like this for sale because it'll be right after Earth Day happens, and I'll be selling a whole bunch of other stuff too. Please feel free to come down, even if it's just to hang out. There's gonna be food trucks. All the restaurants downtown are doing cool things. There are lots of breweries within walking distance of downtown. There's at least 3, so plenty of awesome stuff to do. There's also a distillery right there. So yeah, come hang out with me. And then I'm also doing the Nerd Market again at Lowell Mill number 5 down in Lowell, Massachusetts. I did have a pretty unsuccessful time the last time I did the Nerd Market. I think a lot of that was on me, and weather's a factor. I don't know, I feel like I'd be doing myself a disservice if I don't give it one more try. And that is also the location of the best market I've ever done. The Harry Potter themed one was the most successful event I've done ever. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm making more stuff. I'll have my Totoro onesie out. I think I'm gonna make a couple of those ahead of time because it's tough getting people to order like a custom order at an in-person event like that, or if it's there for sale, they can like try it on and probably take it home. That is on May 18th of 2019. It's a Saturday from noon to 4. Every time I have sold stuff at a market there's been a beer cart on the same level as me, which is A+. I approve. Makes me a little more comfortable talking to people that I don't know, because I'm usually very bad at the whole sales pitch, not sales pitch, but salesperson side of trying to sell my things, which isn't great. I'm really pumped. I'm working really hard to make new items and really try to get my shit off the ground. So thank you so much to everybody that's ordered stuff, even if it's just been a pair of earrings that I've made. I do have a bunch of different designs up on my Etsy shop and everything, and they're so fun to make. I love doing big batches of those. And everyone that's ordered custom stuff and really trusting me with coming up with something cool for whatever person you're making it, or I suppose I'm making it for, that really means a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna go make some more of these because I had a lot of fun sewing these together. And I will see you all on Saturday with another video. Thanks for hanging out! Oh, my eyes. My eyes.